welcome to Labour Lens. I am Sharon Ijason. Recently, the Maritime Workers Union elected a president and other national members to lead the union forward concerning several issues that they might be faced with. This happened at the 5th Quadrennial Delegates Conference held in Lagos. We have interesting news stories for you. We will be right back.
Ways of collaboration.
The Plateau State Governor had started the conversation that governors are in support of financial autonomy, but they are against Executive Order 10, signed by President Muhammadu Buhari.
We were not consulted when we saw a law pass, an order came. So when you are talking about implementation, you are talking about processes. You don't wake up because law is passed and you say you are doing it. How? There must be processes.
Order 10 has now caused a standoff in the country's judiciary, and it also threatens to shut down the legislature in states and the National Assembly. What seems like the governor's reluctance to let go of their grip on state legislature and judiciary could be interpreted to mean an affront on President Muhammadu Buhari's Executive Order 10. They insist a process must be followed, and the forum should be carried along in making critical decisions.
You cannot do financial autonomy until you have a service commission in your place. You must have a service commission. You must establish a service commission. You must establish a state allocation committee. And all these are steps towards autonomy. You don't achieve autonomy in a day.
At the Governors Forum, nearly all of its members deal with different kinds of security threats in their domain. The violent attacks across the country has also increased, with more killings, kidnappings, and devastation. It even seems it is not only citizens that are helpless. State governments are in most cases helpless too, and unable to guarantee the security of lives and property. Now Governor Fayemi indirectly suggests the creation of state-sponsored security network or regional security cooperation like the Amotekun in the southwest, Ebubeagu in the east, the Civilian Joint Task Force in the northeast, and the intervention of non-state actors in tackling security threats may have indeed prevented an escalation.
Forum has expressed its worry that it's time for us to revisit comprehensively the nature and depth of this security crisis, which would have gotten worse if states had not been taking the actions they've been taking individually and collectively. It is the steps taken at the state level that have managed to reduce the depth and the enormity of the security challenges.
Organizations like Amnesty International solely blames the federal government for failing to protect citizens from attacks and secure the country. This kind of harsh criticism always puts more pressure on the government. Yet, the impact of the recent change of guards in the country's security architecture has not been felt across the country.
Workers and indeed Nigerians continue to battle with rising inflation and increase in prices of goods and services, but President of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) Ayuba Waba has reiterated commitment of Organised Labour to ensure that ordinary workers don't continue to pay for rising inflation. Waba said this at the 5th Quadrennial National Delegates Conference of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria in Lagos, as he advocates for improved working conditions for workers in the maritime sector.
Solidarity forever for the union makes up.
Maritime sector. The Cabotage Act of 2003 seek to improve the participation of Nigeria in maritime, thereby increasing employment opportunities and also business opportunity for Nigerians. We urge government to use the lever offered by this act to increase the number of ships, vessels, ports and services owned by Nigerians and servicing other waterways. I also call for the improvement of the working condition of our maritime workers, the seafarers, because there is a global standard of how seafarers and workers in the maritime industry are treated, because it is something that is a global standard. And that's why we have the ILO Maritime Conventions, which Nigeria have ratified recently. But we need those conventions also to be domesticated so that it can make meaning to the workers in the maritime industry. We have had a number of running battles with employers in the maritime sector who still operate the archaic master-servant industrial relation temperament, and so think they can hire and fire workers at will without consideration of redundancy provisions and benefits as guaranteed by Section 20 of the Nigerian Labour Act. I want to warn such employers that the era of slave labor is over, as organized labor will not take it lightly for any employer that will turn our workers to be slaves. We will ensure that there is no going back on this very important issue.
At the business session of the event, the president of the Maritime Workers Union, Adewale Adeyanju, was re-elected unopposed, while new officials emerged. Stakeholders in the sector spoke about the achievements of the union in the last 4 years and what workers in the sector should be expecting. He spoke about achievements of the union in the last 4 years and what workers in the sector should be expecting.
The issue of outsourcing of jobs that are creditably performed by Nigerians to foreigners is becoming an endemic in the maritime sector. A case in point being the recent outsourcing of its security function by a certain maritime company to foreign nationals who have no stake in this Nigeria project except for profit and capital flight. The foregoing situation will undoubtedly send signal of hundreds of Nigerian workers into unemployment market while creating employment for foreign nationals.
Sustained over the past 10 years is proof that the Maritime Workers Union has come of age, and we are now partners with all the other stakeholders for industrial harmony in the sector. I also wish to place on record that I am pleased with the news of the outcome of the CBA negotiations for workers' benefit. This shows that our union will continue to grow stronger as members continue to enjoy enhanced welfare benefit for the essential service they bring daily to the maritime industry.
The workers urged the federal government to put machinery in place for effective disbursement of funds to indigenous ship owners, which many believe will create more employment in the industry.
Adewale Adeyanju. Everybody call him Prince, I call him Mr. Project, because he's a man of honor, he's a man of peace. Whatever peace we are enjoying today in the port is part of the peace. Right from the inception of this concession, he has been there to make peace in the industry. But people did not know he's making peace. Until when he got to that seat, people now see that there's a difference between him and other leaders. And what we bound to gain as a dock worker in the industry today is that there are many things we are still looking into that we want him to do for us. And I believe the condition of service of dock worker this time around, he has tried. We want him to do more. That's number one. Number two, the aged dock workers. At least for now, when they are going, they will have something reasonable to go home with. It's not handshake, because we have many old dock workers that I need to lay off. And we are waiting for the NGIC before we do that. And I believe the NGIC has come to stay. And that's why I said he has a lot of things to do for us. He's coming back in the second time as the President General of this union. The dock workers, we are very happy.
I think he was brought back because of the good job he has been doing. Because a man that has been doing well, of course, will be given another chance to complete what he has been doing. And he has a lot of programs that he has mapped out. And we brought him back so that he will be able to do what he has been doing and finish up the good work he has started. A lot of projects that we have online, a lot of projects that he has earmarked, a lot of things he wants to do with the workers and for their welfare. A lot of cases also that he needs to stay, because he started in his own time and he needs to stay to finish it up. Like the case of APMT, which we are not taking with any kid glove. And the union is going to go all out to ensure that our sourcing of our duty will never be taken. And because you can go to Cotonou or other places and go and get laborers, when we have workers in Nigeria who can do the job effectively. So that is why we have seen the assurance, we have seen the commitment, and we have seen the resolve of Prince Comrade Adewale Adeyanju in ensuring that the workers under Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria did not suffer any form of humiliation from any management.
We expect as seafarers from this newly elected government is for us to be able to, as seafarers, for the mass project, which is the single CBA for seafarer in this country, should be what? Assuaged. Then also other conditions that have to do with seafarer for a better welfare will be vigorously pursued by this new administration. And we must make sure the things that my president and both the NLC president have said, that Nigerian workers, seafarers are not cheap labor. They are professionals. They be treated as one, as professional in this country. And we are sure that this second term will give my boss an opportunity to be able to go into deeper of the activities of shipping companies who are using seafarers in their own way, not what the law specify. That is what we expect from this new government, that we know that new government is going to stand by seafarers to make sure to pursue, one, a better welfare for seafarers, package the one that we have done to be able to uplift it to another higher level.
On the profile interview segment this week, I will be speaking with the President General of the Maritime Workers Union, who was re-elected recently to continue to lead the union in the next few years. Comrade Adewale Adeyanju tells me about the agenda he has for the union for the next few years. We will be right back. Congratulations on your reappointment as the President General of the Maritime Workers Union.
Thank you very much.
Can you bring us up to speed on what your achievements have been for the past 4 years?
Well, I want to first and foremost thank Almighty God for us to have witnessed another tenure. Over the year, when we came in on board, we have a lot of challenges. And we were able to surmount that through the prayers of everybody. You know, the industry is very porous, very large, to understand that the dock workers, the shipping, the seafarers, and that of NPA. Those are the people that form the Maritime Workers Club of Nigeria. You can talk of the CBA in general, because all the four arms of the union, they have their CBA. But the one that is very volatile in nature is that of the dock workers, which I think we were able to at least achieve almost maybe 70 or 80%. We recorded success on that. And we talk of shipping, because over the year the shipping too have some issues where some of the staff are not being well remunerated. And you could remember that we said we are going to declare state of emergency in that sector. Because of the noise we are making here and there, they were able to have done one or two things by way of increasing the salary and some other wages. That's for the shipping. Then the seafarers and dock workers, they're almost the same. They have their what we call collective bargaining agreements. I think those are part of achievement. And when we came in on board, what we did was to see the mind of all the stakeholders. We meet with them. We were able to assess each other, the areas of our problem and their own area of problem too. But no management will tell you they are making money, because the management believe they are losing. The average businessman will always be telling you they are losing. But we were able to know where we are going, our directions. I think the stakeholders today, I think they can attest to our way of negotiating with them in terms of condition of service for the dock worker, the shipping, the MPA, and that of the seafarers. Then you talk about the secretariats of the union too. When we came in, we have a lot of, the secretariat is not habitable for us to use. We have to meet some stakeholders or talk to our members. I think the secretariat is now a deputy secretariat. So many things we have done. The union cannot be on check-up duties all the time. We say, okay, there's need for us to go into business. We still have to diversify into so many businesses. We're into haulage business, we're into stevedoring job, we're even into cooperative now because we floated what we call maritime cooperative. So I think we can tell you more and more that we have done. That I think under 4 years, I think we're able to make some remarkable achievements.
Okay, so moving forward, what is your agenda for the next 4 years?
I don't want to tell anybody what we're about doing now because
for the workers and also for the employers of labor.
My workers, everybody, the union, everybody know our agenda, but the moment you start telling them this is what we want to do now, you know the character of these employers of labor. So let us keep that one to ourselves. When the new executive will have been properly inaugurated, then we will now roll out our agenda to the whole world. But presently, I think what we tend doing is to purge some of these bad employers of labor in the industry who have no regard for Nigerian law. Example is that of one particular terminal. I will not mention his name now. We have been fighting that terminal for some time now, who have been trying to be very, very stubborn. Stubborn in the sense that they have no regard for the rule of law, because by way of bringing in some expatriates, the job Nigeria can do, they are now outsourcing it to foreign hands, which I think is against the law of this great country, where you outsource part of a job to Francophone country, that is Autonomy here, and you rated them, you give them expatriate wages, salary than the Nigerian workers that you met here. The same job that Nigeria are doing is the same job you give to Sierra Leone here. So I think we have gone against that, and we've written to them. I think we are going to start with that terminal. So, and we are equally telling the whole world that the governments will look inward. The expatriate quotas, some of them are exceeded that by way of, they don't even have regard for it. They brought people from Egypt, they brought people from Sierra Leone, they brought so many people, and in the name of expatriate quotas. And we want to know, are you telling me Nigeria cannot do, cannot be rated or be given the same expatriate allowances? So those are the questions we're asking some of these multinational companies that are trying to be funny against Nigerian law.
During your first tenure, there was this bill called the Port and Harbour Bill. Can you bring us up to speed on maybe how you're able to surmount that challenge? Assuming the bill was continued at the floor of the House of Assembly, of what impact would that make on your members?
Let them try it. They do not make that mistake. Anyway, let them try it. All I know, that bill is gone, is gone. Whoever is trying to bring it out again in the name of being sponsored by either politicians or terminal operators or government agencies, they should wait for our reactions. Because to me, I believe that that bill is gone.
Yeah, but can you tell us what was the experience then? I know that
you know that will have caused unemployment. If they eventually succeeded in bringing that bill that time, it will have caused unemployment for Nigerians. I think we were able to manage it, and God supported us, and the workers equally supported us, because that bill is an outrageous bill, anti-labor. It's anti-labor. How do you bring? You want to divide the port into 3 or 4? They are way of telling us that you want to consider the port as well. I think we were able to meet the conditions in the bill by not actually sponsor that bill. Whoever, even the man that wanted to sponsor the bill, later apologized, because when he saw the reactions of the workers and the reaction from Nigerians. So, and I will not stop by not appreciating the effort of Nigerian Labour Congress, even Nigeria in particular, who put their weight behind the bill. So that will have caused a lot of unemployment for Nigerians.
Okay, looking at the Apapa gridlock, I know that there was a time Maritime Workers Union threatened to go on strike. And of course, there were a lot of gains when, with the introduction of the e-call-up system. But recently, we realized that it seems the e-call-up system is not working because the traffic eased up for some days and it seems to be back. Can you tell us what's the challenge?
Well, I think these new innovations that the management of Nigeria Port Authority is trying to bring just to reduce the pressures on the road. But what we are witnessing today and what we are seeing is that a lot of saboteurs are trying to sabotage the effort of Nigeria Port Authority. Because somebody that is making some money utterly every day from the truck owners, and the government is saying no. Why don't we go into e-call-up system? Because the Maritime Workers of Nigeria and some other stakeholders who have already keyed into the system. It will be the best options to reduce the gridlock on the road. But for those ones that have been benefiting from all these illegal collections from the truck owners, from the drivers, turning the road to be their garages and their holding bays, so they are the ones sabotaging the efforts of the Nigeria Port Authority. But very soon, I think the whole world, the union, we are going to expose those people behind being sabotaging the effort. Because I know it's the best option for us. If you don't have any business in the port, must you come out with your trucks? And somebody is coming out to bring an idea that's going to be benefit to all Nigerians. Some people somewhere are trying to sabotage that effort. So the union, very soon, thank God we have our election is over. I think we need to sit down with the authority, with all the stakeholders, and see the area we can give an advice to the management of Nigeria Port Authority. We commended the effort of the woman, that is our MD, for initiating this idea with her team. But somewhere, somebody is sabotaging it. I cannot rule out this sabotage coming from the security agents and some other stakeholders that are making a lot of money at the expense of, that are not ready to even put their best, because their best have not been putting in place. That is the security people too. Because if you go to my two axes there, you see that the people that they brought to come and even do some traffic on the road, they are not ready to do it because money is not exchanging hands again. So that is what we are witnessing today as sabotage coming in from some of the stakeholders that have been partaking in the booty, the stealing of collecting illegal money from the truck drivers. And,
so how has this gridlock affected your members?
It affected not only my members. Is it not when the road is free? When the road is free now, the workers, the port will be booming. But if there's gridlock, how do you expect the workers to perform? So it's affecting my members.
Do you have any information on how this is affecting the economy of the country?
Between you and I, you should know by now that if majority of the stakeholders that are operating in the port, some of them relocated to Cotonou as a result of this bad road. But for this thing to work effectively, that all the stakeholders, everybody will enjoy it, the Tinker Island road must be put in place. I believe that is only roads that remain now. That's only road from my two, from Tinker down to my two. That's the only road that remain that they need to especially put in place. So if the roads are good, nobody will locate to Cotonou and go and do business over there. And if the roads are continue to be bad, the economic implication is that there will be low traffic, there will be low throughput from the port, inside the port. There won't be effective operations in the port.
Okay, recently an ultimatum was served to AMPT and it expires soon. If they don't recall the sacked workers, what will be the next line of action?
Well, the ultimatum speaks for itself. It's not about the sacked workers. It's about the interests of Nigerians working in APNT. what they are practicing in APMT is anti-labor practice, where the job that's supposed to be given to Nigerians, they are giving it to foreigners. The job we are doing as a crane operator, must you go and bring crane operators from Cotonou to come and do the job Nigerians have been doing before they brought in the new MD or whoever is making arrangement on behalf of APMT. So our ultimatum speaks for itself. They should reverse their decisions. And that's why we keep on repeating ourselves that the expatriate quotas, they've exceeded it in APMT. And they know, because we have started having meetings with them, and what they were telling us that where there's a mistake somewhere else, they are going to correct themselves. What we are saying is that the job that belongs to Nigeria, you don't give it to foreigners to come and do. So they cannot be operating legality in our father's land. And Nigeria, no, Nigeria is bigger than them. They are making money at the expense of this country. Whatever money they drive from this country, they take it to their own country to develop their own country. So we are hard for them. And if they think we are joking, let them wait for for the ultimatum to elapse. Then they will now see the wrath of the whole Nigeria workers.
Okay. I wish you success in your new tenure.
Thank you very much.
And of course, I think workers in the maritime sector are very excited and looking forward to much more development and gains from the sector.
Thank you very much for having me.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the program. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.